Hey everyone, this is Jason. Welcome to an unboxing component video for the King of New York. So if you've seen previous videos I've done for the King of Tokyo, so this is I call it like a sister expansion, because the core gameplay is the exact same. You're rolling dice like Yahtzee style. You get a roll, set of 5 dice 3 times. You try and get points to do stuff. Either getting victory points to win with 20 victory points, or you're trying to defeat all the other monsters and take control of this one, be New York instead of Tokyo. But the core concept is the exact same game, and you can play it the exact same way. You can use the monsters from this game in that game, and vice versa if you really want to. But then there's actually a couple of new aspects to this game. So we'll kind of go through it quick. So we're going to go through and just look at what's all in this game in case maybe you didn't watch the original, King of Tokyo video. So you're going to get monster boards, which will have victory point totals and life point totals. So this makes every monster the same, just a different name, different cardboard cutout. You get 20 victory points, you win. You hit 0 life, you lose. Simple as that. You have a giant game board for New York. So this one actually adds more areas you can go to. The other one, it's just either Tokyo or your Tokyo Bay if you're playing a 5-6 player game. This focuses around Manhattan. We'll just grab the board and take a look at that quick. So you're going to get Manhattan here, and it's going to have these 3 spots for 2 to 4 player. If you're playing 5 to 6, they add an extra spot so that more people can be, the King of New York at the same time. But then we also have the Bronx, the Queens, Brooklyn, and Staten Island. Basically, you're trying to do is take control of Manhattan, and you're going to gain points every turn you're in there. So the first turn you enter, you gain a victory point. Then every turn you have the option of moving up another level. So if you stay in there, you gain 1 extra victory point and 1 energy, which you just spend to buy abilities, but you can't heal. And then as you move up through there, you gain more victory points and more stuff, basically become more powerful. And then the other areas, what there's going to be, and this is the big difference between Tokyo and New York, is that there's going to be building units and unit tiles. So there's going to be all these little tokens here. So they're going to have all these little buildings on them, which are going to show what you get when you defeat them. So you can, rather than attacking another monster, you can attack these buildings to gain health, gain energy, gain VP. Like some of the easier ones to beat. But then once you defeat one of the buildings, you flip the tile over. Now you have to compete with an enemy unit that's going to try and attack you. So there's some jeeps, there's some jet planes. When you defeat them, you also gain bonuses too. So you can gain energy or tanks that give you more VP. But they're gonna try and attack you. So now not only are you competing against other monsters trying to gain victory points or defeat them, you can also be destroying the city and gain extra things there. The other big difference, the other big difference to the game is you still got your 5 dice, but they changed a few things on there. So in King of Tokyo, you had dice with numbered 1, 2, and 3. And if you wanted victory points, you had to roll 3 1s, gained you 1 point, 3 2s, gained you 2 points, 3 3s, gained you 3 points. And then it was otherwise just energy, health, or attacking. Gain 1 energy for each energy you rolled, 1 health for every health, or 1 attack for every attack. But now what they did is they just consolidated the victory points right into 1 die, so you don't have to. So you still have to collect 3 of them to get it, but there's not trying to mix match 1, 2s, and 3s. But then they also added the ability you get the building destroy die. So here we have our victory points. We have our health, we have our attack, and we have our energy. So then the other 2 new sides are destroying a building. You roll these to destroy buildings or units. And then if you roll the skull, means they actually attack you, so you can have to defend against the tanks and jets and stuff. There are also 64 power cards, which have a unit cost, name, type, and they either keep, which you play them and they stay out, or they're a discard, which you play them, they use them once. And we'll go over all them when we get there. Energy cubes, which you earn to spend your energy to do different stuff. There are also 2 gold cards you can get, which you meet specific effects. You can get those, which give you bonuses, your figures, and then a bunch of different tokens. There's 2 extra dice. There are 2 green dice to go with your 5 in case a card ability gives you extra dice. And then there's some web, curse, souvenir, and carapace tokens, which have to deal with the power tokens. And those are just these different ones on here. So there's, what is it? I already forgot there. So there's web tokens, which have something like a spider, souvenir tokens, carapace tokens, and cursed tokens. Should be different stuff. It'll depend on different power cards you draw. So then here's the layout of the board. So when you set it up, you'll have your deck shuffled, you draw some power cards, you place the 2 gold cards off to the side. And then what you do is you shuffle all the units together. Form 15 stacks of 3 tiles, so you get 3 for each area. Manhattan, there's 1 separated for each of the different levels. Upper, middle, and lower. And then you get, so that way you can have the option, if you want to be in Manhattan, because you gain extra points, you do more damage to other players, and stuff like that. But while you're not in there, you can actively be doing stuff in the other areas, too, to help you gain advantage. You're not just sitting around, oh, well, I don't really want to attack him this turn, or I don't want to go to, so you have options, which is kind of nice. It just adds a little bit more gameplay element. It's your turn. You're going to roll dice, resolve dice, move, buy power cards, or end your turn. So you get 3 die rolls, and you can roll them in, you can stop whenever you want. So if I roll my dice, and this is what I get. This is could potentially be a very bad hand, but I don't have to take any of this right now. So the next set is to resolve your dice. So what I do is I get 3 rolls, so I can decide what I want to keep. So if I want to keep a victory point, I can keep that. Otherwise, I have, I'm going to take 2 damage, or I am going to destroy 3 buildings. And let's just say I don't want to destroy buildings and I don't want to take damage. So I'm going to reroll all of these. So I got some energy, I got another victory point, and I got a health. So we're going to reroll 1 more, and we got to destroy building. So then to resolve all my dice, it says, so for the star. If you roll at least 3, you take a superstar card. If you do not already have it, you score 1 or more from now on. If you have this goal at the start of your turn, you score 1 for each time you roll 1. Yeah, so you gain +1 because you rolled 3. So you roll 3, so he gains +1. And then he gets the card. And then he gains +1 because for every additional star he rolled. So he's got 2 plus he gained the card. And then the superstar card will give you extra bonuses. And then energy, just every energy you get 1 point. You store them until you want to use them. The fist icon or hand is a smash, which lets you do damage. So if you're in Manhattan, regardless of which area, the upper middle, when you roll fists, for every fist, you do damage to every other monster in the game. If you're outside, regardless of which one of the areas you're in, you always damage whoever's in Manhattan. And that's the same way King of Tokyo played. And then if a monster in Tokyo takes damage, they can decide to yield, which means they step out, they make you go in. But if you stay in, you gain extra points every turn. So there's an advantage of that, plus you get to damage everybody. But you're also taking all the damage. So it's, back and forth. You gotta decide what works best for you. As no monsters start the game in Manhattan, the first monster cannot wound anyone. So the first time you do it, you go in there. And if you're playing 5 or 6 players, just each person can go to one of the other zones. You can have 2 monsters in there at a time. When you roll the hearts, you get a heal. Except if you're in Manhattan, you can't heal. So that's one of the other disadvantages in there. So you might need to jump out of there, yield out if you take damage, so you can heal some. Then we have the new symbols. We have destruction, which is the little house or building being broken in half. Use it to destroy buildings or eliminate units in the burrows where your monster is. The toughness of a building is indicated by the number that you must roll in order to destroy it. So these houses have 1, so they take 1 to destroy. When you destroy a building, flip the tile to reveal the unit side, place it next to the stack which it was taken. Any building still in the stack may be destroyed if you have unused. So if I rolled 4, I could destroy a 1, a 2, and then another 1 if that's what came up. I wouldn't just have to destroy the top one. But if you have enough to destroy a building, you must do it. But you're not required to optimize your thing. So if I roll at least 1 and there's at least 1 thing I can destroy, I have to destroy it. I don't have the option not to. But I don't have to sit there and like take from the 3 piles and be like, oh, if I roll a 3, I don't have to like, oh, I'll do a 2 on this one and a 1 on that one. I just need to at least destroy 1 building. Alright, and then vehicles are going to have toughness. So all toughness 1 buildings have jeeps, all toughness 2 have jets, all toughness 3 have tanks. So that's how you can figure out what's on the back of those. And then they have the ouch dice, which is the little skull cracked open. When you roll 1 or more of these, the army goes in action. If you roll 1 units in your area, do 1 attack for each unit in your burrow. So that's the thing. The more buildings you destroy, the more units are going to be out. So the longer it takes you to take them out as well, you're going to potentially take more damage. If you roll 2 of them, the unit attacks all monsters in your burrow. So if you have you can have up to 2 monsters in each area. So if you roll 2, you could actually maybe use it as a way to damage the other player as well. But if you roll 3, every unit in New York attacks the monsters in their respective areas. So that's a good way to, again, also like I might take damage, but I'm making everyone attack. Or if you don't have any units in your area, you could roll 3 and make everyone else have to suffer damage. So different thing. And then we have the Statue of Liberty. If you roll 3 of them, you become the city's defender. Statue of Liberty comes to life and helps you take the card, and then it gives you some bonuses. And then at the end of your turn, after you move, you can buy cards. Yep, so we're on the move step. If there are no monsters in Manhattan, or a single game with virus, you must move into there. So if there's nobody in there for some reason, you have to go in there. If there's already a monster in there, you can move to any borough except Manhattan. It does not already contain 2 monsters, or you can remain where you are. So you can move out of the way of units or go somewhere that has something you need. If you're in Manhattan, you must move up to the next zone without changing location. Once you reach Upper Manhattan, you can only move. You cannot leave Manhattan during the step. The only time you can leave Manhattan is if you're wounded by another monster. Yeah, so that's basically how that works. You gain bonuses for being in Manhattan. So it's a good thing in a sense. It means you're the king of that part, but you might need to back out to do other stuff. And then buying power cards, you can just spend your energy you collected, which are going to be these little tiny green cubes. So as you buy stuff, you can pay for it, and it goes to your hand, and then you can play it whenever. You also spend 2 energy at any point to just replace everything, so if there's nothing you want or everything's too high cost. End of the game, when monsters reach 20 or all other monsters are dead. Pretty easy. It's like the extra rules with the other things, I don't think make the game any more difficult. All they're going to do is just add more stuff for you to do. So like then you don't have to just focus on, oh, do I attack that guy or do I do that? No, now you can attack buildings or units and gain extra health or extra stuff. Alright, so now we're going to look at all the monsters. They are all fundamentally the exact same. They have their VP counters, they have their health counter, which has a skull if it's dead. Otherwise, it starts at 10 for red. The 11 and 12 are if you get a card that lets you go above your normal health. So now we have American Kong. We had a monkey Kong in the first game, called, I believe it was King. This is Kong. Or maybe that was King as well, I don't remember. But we have an Americanized version of a monkey, because these are more, like, American-y monsters, where the other ones were more like, Godzilla and stuff like that. We're going to get some different ones. So there's going to be his little standee that you use. We have Rob. He's a robot, of course. And there's his. It's going to match the artwork on their cards. We have Captain Fish, who's a whale inside a giant body. We have Mantis. He's actually a robot. You can see that's like robot guts falling out and some gears and stuff, but that's definitely neat. We have Draconis, who's a like mecha dragon carrying a giant gun. I don't know how he's gonna fire it like that, but that's not the point. And then of course we have Sheriff, the cowboy T-Rex, which is really cool. So there's your characters. Like I said, you can mix and match these characters with any characters from the game, from the other games, so the other King of Tokyos, because they don't have any inherent abilities like tied to the card right now. There are expansions though, the power-up expansion, which will let you add cards, or add special evolution cards to make every character unique. And the only thing that's odd there is because they have King of Tokyo cards. So all of the characters in the power-up expansions will have cards that work for King of Tokyo, including all the like later expansion cards that come out. But the earlier stuff that was only for King of Tokyo before King of New York don't have cards that work for King of New York. So you can basically take all these cards, play them in King of Tokyo very easily, but the older cards won't work in King of New York unless they decide to add some more cards. Alright, so now we're going to look at the power card. So this one is Sharpshooter. Cost 4, has keep. So once you buy it, you can play it whenever you want. And it says, you can destroy jets that are outside the burrow. Gain 1 VP whenever you destroy a jet. We have Extra Head. That you get 1 extra die. Hailing Cabs. Before resolving your dice, you may add 2 destructions to your roll. If you do, you can only destroy units this turn. So that's kind of cool. Violent Star. When you take the Superstar from another monster, he loses 2 health. When a monster takes Superstar from you, he loses 1 health. Of Another World. Whenever you should gain or lose or spend health, you may choose to gain, lose, or spend energy instead, vice versa. Ego Trip. Gain 1 energy when you take Superstar or start with it on your turn. Terminal Rage. Take another turn after this one. When you buy this card, you can no longer reroll your attacks. We have Leveler. Once per turn, gain 1 VP whenever you destroy a building. Bulletproof. Lose 1 less health when attacked by units. King of Queens. Gain 1 energy and 1 heart if you start your turn in Queens. There's the Curse. So, give a Curse token to a monster that you wound. Monsters must pay 1 additional energy per Curse token when they choose to reroll what are they called? The damage from the bad guys. The unit attacks. Curse token can be discarded by using a heart instead to gain. Basically, you can heal it instead of healing damage. We have Fireball. Your attacks also wound monsters and other burrows. Long Neck. You only need 2 damage buildings to destroy a jet. Oh, that's funny. Little shrink wrap. Trophy Hunter. When you gain one VP whenever you destroy a unit. We have Tourist. Place a souvenir token in your burrow. Whenever you enter a burrow that does not already have a souvenir token, and whenever you enter one of that, gain 1 VP and 1 energy whenever you place a souvenir token. So basically, as you go to extra areas, you can gain extra tokens. Or extra energy. Stink Attack. When you move into a burrow, you may move a unit from that burrow to any other burrow. Can Opener. You only need 3 destruction to destroy a tank. Instead of 4. Phoenix Blood. Keep. Whenever you lose 1 or more health, gain energy. Tesla Athena. When you wound a monster that has more health than you, he loses an extra health. Power Tap. Whenever a monster gains at least 3 energy, he must give you 1. Stomp. Add 1 destruction to your roll. Jinx Aura. Other monsters must use all their rolls, re-rolling at least 1 die each time. Seismic Ray. You may pay 1 energy to use some or all of your destructions in a different burrow than the one you are in. Chinatown Regular. Gain 2 health when you enter Manhattan. Scavenger. You may buy cheap cards from the discard pile. Pay 1 less than their cost. Antimatter Pellets. Monsters you would wound must roll a die. If they roll a damage, they lose double health. Ooh. Web Spinner. Give a web token to a monster that you wound. Monsters have 1 less roll for each web token, but always have a minimum of 1 roll. Monster may use an attack to discard a web instead of wounding another monster. Universal Soldier. You may convert any or all of your health to attack and vice versa. Fury. At the beginning of your turn in a burrow containing 3 or more units, you may add 1 destruction and 1 energy to your roll. That's awesome. Shadow Double. When you would wound monsters, they lose double health. That costs 12. Oh boy. Drain. You steal up to 2 energy from monsters that wound you, unless you are eliminated. Diva. Other monsters must roll at least 4 VP to take Superstar from you. Towering Titan. Add 2 attack to your roll. Broadway Star. Gain 1 VP when you take Superstar or start your turn with it. Overlord. 4 energy. Gain 1 less energy when you roll energy. But it costs 0. Chameleon. Before resolving the dice, you may discard as many VP dice as you like. For each discarded die, you may change the result of one of your dice. Natural Selection. Gain 4 energy and 4 health. Play with 1 extra die. If you roll a star, discard this card and lose all your health. Oh boy. That could definitely be helpful, but it could kill you in like 1 turn. Regeneration. Now, just to clarify for something like this. So it says if you roll it, it's when you resolve it. It's not just if I roll it, it's only if you keep it. So that last roll you do, if you end up rolling one, you can't change it, then you have nothing else. But your first roll, you roll like 4 of them, just re-roll them. Regeneration, gain 1 health at the start of your turn. Trash Thrower, when you wound a monster, they lose 1 VP. Carapace. Well, you have this card, you can have up to 12 health. For each destruction or each unit damage that you gain, place a Carapace token on this card. You may discard this card to gain 1 health per token. Personal Spotlight. Gain 1 VP each turn that you roll at least 1 star. Super Speed. Before starting your roll dice phase, you may perform an extra move. Hunter. Gain 1 health whenever you destroy a Jeep. Pain Bow. So if you roll 2 destructions, add 1 attack. 4 destructions, add 2 attack. Roll 1, 2, 3, 4, all 6. So you only start with, you start 6 dice. You roll all 6 as destruction, you immediately win the game. That's crazy. Yahtzee it. Artificial Heart, you may convert any or all your hearts to energy. Climb the Empire State Building. If you roll 1 of each symbol while in Manhattan, gain 2 VP and take an extra turn after this one. The Brooklyn Bridge. Pay 1 less energy if you buy this card while in Brooklyn, gain 4 VP. Columbia University. Pay 1 less if you buy this while in Manhattan. 2 VP and draw a power card from the deck until you find a keep card. Play this card in front of you and discard the other drawing cards. Holland Tunnel. Pay 1 less if in Manhattan. 6 VP, all monsters including you gain 3 energy. The Photo Op. Choose a monster that you have wounded this turn, gain 1 VP for each health lost by that monster when you wounded it. Drink the Hudson. Pay 1 less to buy if you are in Brooklyn, Manhattan, or Staten. 13 energy plus 1 attack, or 1 VP and 2 health. Coney Island. Discard, or 1 less if in Brooklyn, 3 VP. The Flatiron Building. 1 less in Manhattan, 2 VP. Central Park. 1 less if in Manhattan, 2 VP and 2 health. The Unisphere. 1 less if in Queens, get 4 VP. Alright, so we have the Tesla Cannon. Gain 2 VP. All monsters, including you, discard 1 keep card. Subterranean Cable. You gain 4 energy, but lose 4 health. The next stage, lose all your VP, but for each VP, gain either 1 energy or 1 health. The Subway. Plus 2 health and play an extra turn after this. During your next turn, you can move when you want, as many times as you like. New York Marathon. While this card is available for purchase, monsters cannot yield or move to another borough unless they pay 2 energy. If Manhattan is empty, monsters must enter Manhattan at no cost. Otherwise, you get plus 2 VP energy and health. Air Force One. You can only buy this if you just try to eject this turn. 4 VP. All units attack all monsters in their burrows. General Ellis. Only buy if you've destroyed a tank. Plus 3 VP. All monsters lose 1 health. And the final one is Power Substation. You gain 1 VP, 8 energy, but lose 3 health. Then the last 2 cards is we have the gold cards, which are Superstar. So if you take this when you roll at least 3 VP, gain 1 VP, plus 1 for each additional star above the 3. Then if you have this card in front of you at the start of your turn, score 1 for each VP that you roll. And then the Statue of Liberty is when you take 3 unit damage, gain 3 VP when you take this card, but you lose 3 when you lose it. And then those 2 cards have different backs, just so they don't get mixed in with everything else. And that would be the game. The only other quick thing to mention is the original version of King of Tokyo Halloween Edition has a promo card for this game. Not the new second edition, which is probably in the store. So if you really want that 1 extra card, you can check out the video to see what it is. But I don't know if it's worth it to go buy a brand new set just for that. Especially since you can mix the monsters in here, but you're not going to be able to use all the other stuff from that set unless you bought other expansions. So that would be King of New York. Check out there's a power-up expansion which will add a new character and some more bonus cards and make all the monsters different. Plus, eventually we'll get to the expansion sets. So, alright, see you guys in the next video. Bye.